With G-Fest having passed and the discussion video being uploaded twice, of course the next and final G-Fest video will be discussing what I got at G-Fest. It's like clockwork, it's just going to happen. So I'm Seismic, and let's begin. Day 1 is where the bulk of my haul came from, so let's start. My first buys on day 1 were these two shirts. Both of these shirts were $30 and they are extremely comfortable to wear. Next, I went into the dealer's room and went straight for YMSF's booth and bought two things. Their prototype Wolfman and I think now their third repaint of their Behemoth figure. So let's go over the Wolfman. This figure came in at around $50 and for $50, this is honestly not a bad deal. Sculpt looks nice, the articulation is nice and smooth, it sizes well with the other Bandai figures, and it has this nice gloss to it. They had two variants of this figure, a brown and white one, and I got the white one since it'll be easier to repaint this upcoming spooky season. Next up, Behemoth. You know, it's very surreal to finally have this figure, and I'm glad I waited too because this is the best repaint this figure has received from YMSF. My only problem is that the tusks were way too loose on this guy, but just a little bit of Gorilla Glue fixed it all. Now this next figure, I never thought in a million years I would even ever be able to even see with my own two eyes. The Yamanaya Doragori for $80. And I'm still in utter disbelief that I was able to buy this figure. But thanks to this booth for helping me achieve a goal I never thought I'd even have a chance of getting to. Doragori here is just a beautiful figure to look at. Not to mention the sculpt is surprisingly well done. Definitely one of my favorite purchases this year. Then from the same booth I achieved yet another goal. For $60 I was able to purchase this Zilla figure. Again, I genuinely believed I was never even going to find this figure. But the dealer's room
finds a way.
Alright, so you know, those are some expensive figures, but they're only double-digit prices. Let's get into the hefty priced figures. So first up, we've got the Bandai Shin Ghidorah for only $100. This is a figure I've been wanting to get for an extremely long time, and for only $100, I knew I was going to get it. So it's finally nice to have my favorite Ghidorah design in my collection. Going down in price a little bit, here we have the new Bandai Salunga figure, and possibly controversial opinion coming up, but I'm genuinely not a big fan of Bandai's new releases for the movie Monster series since 2018, not counting Bandai premiums, obviously. I just think most of them are low quality. Not all of them, but a lot of them. However, this figure breaks that chain by a long shot. This figure's sculpt is 1, accurate, and 2, nicely done and has a lot of depth to it. Not to mention this figure's scale is nice and he even has some heft to him. So overall for $30, not a bad purchase. Now let's get into the biggest purchase I made this year, with none other than our boy G-Fantas. And he's been juicing since the last Seismic Workshop. So coming in at a whopping $120, this figure is big and feels like a brick. And I do plan on repainting this guy, so expect a Seismic Workshop for him in the future. Next up again with Movie Monster series making an actually decent figure here with Gorosaurus. Honestly was kind of surprised with the step up in quality Movie Monster series has been going through, because much like Salunga, this figure's sculpt is accurate and very well done. The paint application, while obviously inspired off of the original figure, is still beautifully done. Scales well with the other figures, yeah, I don't really know what to say with this figure, I just like it. And for $45 without the tag, I will gladly take it, since some of the prices I saw this guy were going for were horrifying. Alright, and for my final purchase for day 1, from the same table I bought Gorosaurus from, I snagged this custom painted Baby Godzilla for only $50. Now, originally it was going for $60, but the guy who was offering it was nice enough to give it to me for $50. So go check out their account. These guys price their figures fairly in the dealer's room, and if they come back next year, I will buy from them. So that was it for day 1, and as you can tell, I made most of my purchases on this first day. Day 2 started out with this Bandai Galberos for only $25. Galberos' design is one of my favorite in the Ultra series, so I knew I had to grab this guy. And I might do a Seismic Workshop on this guy since I can tell some of the paint on this figure is wearing off. So let me know if you'd like to see that. Oh yeah, I should also mention when I bought G-Fantas I was given this little Hedera for free, just as a thank you for making a purchase above $100, so that was nice of them. Next up I went to this booth and bought 4 new shirts. Honestly never thought shirts this amazing would exist, but lo and behold I finally have shirts of my favorite obscure kaiju, and all 4 of them combined totaled up to be $85. Definitely not a bad deal. Well, what do we have here? Daughter Darkness by Alyssa Carpenter for only $20. Of course I was going to buy this when she mentioned it in her G-Fest announcement video. As someone who loves dark fiction, I knew I had to buy this. I also have to support my type of people too. Writer helping writer. Coming from Titanic Creations, we have their Titanicus and Screus figures for the combined price of only $85. These two are extremely well made and both have very unique designs. I am especially a fan of Screus here with this absolutely wicked design. Alrighty, we're now coming up on our final purchases here. So after doing literal laps around the dealer's room, I finally found him. I finally found the Bandai Ride Godzilla for only $90 too. Yes, please. Also, the person who gave it to me was an artist, so he gave me a comic book for free. And I would show it, but unfortunately we're still in the process of trying to sell our house, so I had to pack it up along with the G-Fen magazine and the poster I got for buying Titanicus and Screus. But I promise when this whole situation is done, I'll show them off. So this is the point where I started to get low on my money, so I had to be resourceful. And luck had it, there was a booth that had a box containing a bunch of Ultraman figures. And in that box was a Bandai Ray figure for only $10. And if you have any knowledge of who I am, you would know I absolutely adore Ultra Galaxy and Ray. Ultra Galaxy still has to be one of my favorite Ultra shows, so this figure was an instant grab. And now, for my final purchase. I teased this in my big G-Fest video, and here it is. This Bandai King Joe figure for only $5. A questionable choice, you might be saying, but this figure is the one that's going to for sure get its own TLC for Seismic Workshop, and production on it has already started. And overall, it's not a bad figure, it just needs a little work. So I cannot wait to see how this guy will look once I'm finished with him. And that's it. That's everything I got at this year's G-Fest. This was definitely my most successful haul out of them all, and I'm very satisfied with everything I got. Now, yes, I will admit there was a couple things I wish I could have gotten, but that's all the more reason to try next year. And some examples being the Bandai Premium Showa Ghidorah, the Orochi figure, SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2004, the Bandai King Kong from 1962, along with some other things. However, I think the biggest thing I wish I could have gotten was this. Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to grab the Rat Bat Spider, and this is a figure I've been wanting to get for a long time. However, there's two on eBay and they're actually cheaper than the one that I saw at G-Fest, so I may try to buy this, so that way whenever G-Fest 2023 comes around I won't have to worry about it. Regardless of those, I'm still very happy with the haul I got this year, and I cannot wait to see what my haul is going to look like for G-Fest 28. So that's going to be it for the final G-Fest related video this year. I hope you enjoyed this little mini-series during July, and maybe it's helped convince you to go next year. But with that, I'm Seismic, subscribe if you're interested, drink plenty of water, and I will see you all on the flip side. Peace out!